All right, I'm going to show you how to use this scientific calculator. I'm also going to show you how to put scientific notation in using the other calculator we sometimes use for the course. So there's two calculators. Unfortunately, I only brought my favorite calculator home. So you're just going to have a screenshot of the other calculator, and I'll give you your button sequence if you're putting in scientific notation. So first of all, a question that uses scientific notation. I'm having a hard time getting my mouse to go to the right places. Helps if you turn your tablet the right way around. All right. All right, so for putting in scientific notation, first we'll look at what kind of question we have, and then I'll show you the number sequence and what it's going to look like on your screen. So let's say you want to put in a number that is 3.2 times 10 to the 5. Okay, so if that's the number you want to key into your calculator, the buttons you need to be able to find is just this one. This button that I've just circled, the EXP button, is going to be the important one for you to put in. So in your calculator, in order to put that number in, you're going to put in 3.5. Oops, helps if I turn it on. Hopefully you can see 3.5. And then what I want you to do is you're going to press EXP, and that gives you that E. That E is equal to times 10 to the 5. So in your calculator, this times 10 to the 5 will show up as an E. You don't have to type in times 10, and then you're going to press 5. If you hit enter or equals, it gives you the decimal version of that, which, sorry, the glare is a little difficult, and it's mirror image, which only complicates things. 3, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0. So this 5 means take the decimal from where it was and move it over 5 places. All right, so let's say we want to put in, let's say we have another question. Maybe it's a question you're doing on linear expansion, okay? So maybe you need to take 3 meters times, and linear expansion values are always really small. Maybe the number is 4.2 times 10 to the negative 6. Okay, let's say that's the question you're doing in your calculator. Well, again, you just want to be able to find that EXP button. You're not going to use any other exponent buttons. And to put it in your calculator, first we'll clear here. You would just do your calculation as usual. So 3 times, and then we're going to use the same strategy we used before. See if I can get the glare to go away, to put in the rest of the questions. So you're going to do 4.2. We need to get that times 10 to, so we're going to press our EXP button. And then you would do, instead of the subtract sign, you're going to look for the negative button. Now the negative button on your calculator is right over here, okay? So I've circled them just because it's mirror image in their screenshot here. So I've circled them in the calculator to the left so that it's easier for you to see. So then you're going to press, so we've got 4.2, we got our exponent. We're going to press negative 6. And then you just hit equals as usual. And you can kind of see what the answer is it gives us there. So I'll write down what that number is and how that works for us. So for an answer, just because it was mirror image, if you can read mirror image, great. It was 1.26, and then in the corner here, you will see the times 10 and negative 20, or so, negative 20. Looks like negative 20 from my angle. It's actually a negative 5, okay? So times 10 to the negative 5, that is the same as 1. We're going to move our decimal 5 times. 1. And in this case, we're going to go, oops, sorry, I'm going in the wrong direction. Get used to going backwards here. All right, so when it's to the negative 5, we're going to move the decimal 5 places in the other direction. So negative 5 means you have a small decimal. If it was negative 2, it's still usually going to mean you have a smaller decimal. So I'll just put my pen back on here. So we'll take our decimal, and in order to make the number smaller, we're going to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places over. So our answer is going to be 0 decimal. I need 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros in front of the 1. 1, 2, 6. Okay? So that would be the amount in meters that you might have if it was a linear expansion. And you could convert that to millimeters. If we converted that to millimeters, that means we would have, millimeters would be times 1,000. It means we're going to have decimal 0.126 millimeters. So even just a very, very, very small numbers. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of help with that calculator and figuring out how to put in your scientific notation. Watch on your calculator. So up here you have that times 10^2. That will tell you, especially when you're figuring out what your linear expansion is, that will tell you your answer, and you can write it down this way. That's no problem at all. This is a correct way to put a solution in. Now, it might be a little difficult in SAM to put that in, so you may find you have to put in your calculator to convert it. Or if you're struggling to convert it, feel free, if you need to use Google. I'm not there to be able to provide you more support, so use the resources that you need to have in order to get those conversions done. Now I'm going to quickly show you, if you have the other calculator, I'll show you how it'll look on that. Unfortunately, I don't have that calculator home to be able to show you how to enter it. But any of your calculators with a 2-line display, it's usually this EXP button you'll be looking for. Sometimes the button will be EE. Okay, so just keep an eye out for that, and that should help you out. All right. Okay, so for the other calculator that we have, the other calculator is this one, and it only has a single line display, which is sometimes a little trickier for seeing what you're putting in for scientific notation. This -99 up here, that is our exponent for scientific notation. Okay, so I could write this number out using scientific notation. If I was to write it out, what's shown on the calculator screen here would be written as -1.234567891 times 10 to the -99. So that's what that means. It doesn't show you the E just because there's not enough space in the this calculator doesn't have the digits in order to do that. To key in a number, if you're trying to put something in with scientific notation, let's say you want to put 1.3 times 10 to the power of 3. You are going to press 1.3, then you're going to hit your EXP button, and then you're going to press 3 again. So it's going to be 1, draw the buttons here, decimal, 3, then you press your EXP, and you would press 3 again. If it's a -3, let me just do a little erasing here just so I can show you some of the numbers spots more clearly. If you're putting in a -3, all right, so 3 times 10 to the -3, you would key in 3, you would do EXP, and then you would press the plus/minus button, this right here. Okay, so that button will put in a negative sign. So that tells us it's not subtracting, it's a negative sign, and then you would key your 3 in. And that should be all you need in order to put those questions in. If you're having trouble, shoot me a message, show me your calculator, send me a screenshot, and I'll give you some more instructions for your particular model of calculator. Unfortunately, there's not an app for this calculator that lets me demonstrate virtually how to put those numbers in and have our screen showing up the right way. So hopefully that was enough information for you and solves any issues that you might have calculator-wise.